And I'm going to share screen. Welcome, welcome. If you guys want to type in the chat and just let me know where you are from, and then I can see if my presenter mode here is going to show me. Okay. Let's see here. Okay. I don't see it. Okay. Well, I think we'll get started. Welcome everybody to Nutrition Simplified. My name is Tara Anglis, and we're going to talk about some really easy things and concepts to introduce into your home. And before we get into the fun and happy side, we're going to dive into a little bit of nitty-gritty here, and just share some of the statistics that are happening in our field or in the world right now, where 1 in 4 people will die of heart disease. 1 in 2 women, 1 in 2 women and 1 in 3 men will develop cancer at some point in their life. 1 in 3 will have diabetes. 1 in 5 children would be considered obese. And it's really crazy to think that poor diet can have such a large influence on these numbers. And our children are actually, studies are showing, are more harmed from poor diet than by exposure to drug, alcohol, or tobacco consumption, or combined actually, which is really crazy when you think about those statistics. So there's 2 strong trends that are influencing these health crisis statistics. And if anybody wants to type in the chat, I'll check the chat later because it's not coming up on my screen here. But if anybody has an idea of, oh, there we go, what these 2 trends might be, they're pretty big ones. Let's see here. So the first one is environmental toxins are increasing. And about half of the examples that are shown here, we have some control over when making health choices. As a hairstylist, environment, that word is a big deal for me. It has a very big meaning because of the chemicals that I'm exposed to in my field of work. Same goes for many other professions, like if you're a painter or a mechanic, or even if you just have stress. I know that a lot of us have extra stress at work these days, and they can also contribute to that environment factor. And it plays a huge role in the proper nutrition of our bodies. And just in the last few weeks, Steve and I, my husband, have watched Kiss the Ground and The Biggest Little Farm. If you guys get a chance to see those 2 films, they're on Netflix. They're really good, and they talk about the soil. And you can see in the picture here that the water, the land, it's all part of it. And some of the examples on that list are pollution, water contaminants, pesticides, prescriptions, over-the-counter drugs, chemicals, skin and hair care products, and plastics. So they're all contributing to that environment factor. So that's the first trend. And then the second trend is our food quality is decreasing. So in addition to what's on this list, most of the fresh foods that we eat has been picked weeks before ripening. Even for fresh organic produce, unless it's been purchased locally, it probably won't be chemical free due to being sprayed to assist with ripening or preserving, or for crossing borders, it's sprayed for pests, so pesticides. So don't get me wrong, organic's absolutely better. However, it's not always as clean as what we might think it is. So our food quality is definitely, in addition to that, decreasing through eating food-like foods instead of whole foods. So food-like foods can actually rob us of nutrients and put us into a nutrient deficit. And now our body has to actually go and use stored nutrition to be able to break down and eliminate those substances. So there's very large concern for the condition of the soil in our food, that our foods are grown in, as far as that nutrient density goes too, because many areas of the world are nutrient, our soil, our rich topsoils are becoming nutrient poor and chemically laden, which is kind of just turning the topsoil into dirt, and that's having a huge impact on the quality of the foods that are grown in it. So this is why broccoli could lose anywhere from 50 to 80% of its key nutrients before you've even purchased it from the store. So some of the things that are, having an impact on the decreasing of our food quality is the preservatives, flavor enhancers, emulsifiers, synthetic vitamins, growth hormones, genetically modified organisms. They pack in less nutrition punch, and then the pesticides, trans fats, and artificial flavors. So we are dealing with toxicity and deficiency, really, with our food. So what can we do to be healthier? It really is as simple as what you're seeing on this slide here. Like exercise, really, we just need to get our lymphatic system moving every day, because that, if we don't, it can create some stagnation. So it doesn't have to be rigorous exercise. It could be as little as 10 minutes of increased cardio. So just getting your heart rate up. It's best if you can get to a point of sweating, but you don't have to. And then like 10 minutes twice a day. So it doesn't have to be a lot. Sleep is very important. When we are getting a good 7 to 8 hours of sleep, it's great for our bodies, because that's when our body does most of the healing and repairing of our tissue. So making sure that you have quality sleep is definitely going to help with staying healthier. Managing stress, we have been teaching a lot of people to incorporate tactical breathing or meditation into their life. It's definitely helped me with managing some stress, in the sense of my nervous system can get a little bit escalated sometimes. I'm always on the go, and meditation has definitely helped me in that area, even though in the beginning I kind of felt like it was kind of a weird thing to do, but it does take practice, and it does feel good afterwards. And it can also help with sleep too. So if you're having problems there, it can certainly help. Making sure we're hydrated, that one's pretty basic. Making sure that you're drinking half your body weight in ounces of water most days. If you are increasing your energy level or using your body more, then you can definitely have a little bit more water. If you're drinking coffee or alcohol, then you would definitely want to be adding more water than just half your body weight in ounces, to make sure that you get your daily hydration checked off for the day. Using safer products, I think that one's a no-brainer for a lot of people. Choosing healthier cleaning products, laundry detergents, toothpastes, and then obviously nutrition products, which we are going to touch on as we go. And focusing on eating as much real food as you can. And then when you focus on just these 6 items, and getting better into balance with that, it can really have a ripple effect into more life-changing improvements. And when we know better, we can do better. So let's focus for a few minutes on fruits and vegetables. Experts agree that most diseases are preventable with good nutrition. And Hippocrates has said for many centuries, let food be thy medicine and medicine be thy food. So that is definitely very, very true. So let's take a look at what oxidative stress and antioxidants are for a second here. So on the one side of the screen, we've got some bad news. The apple has been cut in half, and the oxidative stress is turning it brown, causing some aging and disease, let's say. The good news is on the other half of that apple, we've sprinkled some lemon juice on there. So it is definitely adding antioxidants, which is nature's remedy, to help protect and preserve the other side of that apple. So making sure that we have enough antioxidants in our bodies every day is definitely going to be a huge factor in how quickly or slowly we age and degenerate. So that's why the news isn't that fruits and vegetables are good for you. It's also so that they're so good for you that they could actually save your life. So everything we eat has a level of vibration, and eating a wide variety of clean, fresh fruits and vegetables can actually raise your body's vibration also. The veggies you see here in this picture have really juicy, nutrient-rich water in them, and our bodies are made up mostly of water, right? So it's definitely like really good, high-quality nutrition. So it makes perfect sense that they could, in fact, save your life. Now, anyone like to type in the chat what your guess might be on how many servings of fruits and vegetables we should be eating every day to protect ourselves from disease? And I can see the chat now, so if anybody wants to just take a guess there and see, I am curious. 8 to 12, okay, that's really close, good guess. Okay, so it's actually, we need between 7 and 13 servings of fruits and veggies every day. It's a lot. Athletes need more, like upwards of 20 servings a day. So I can't imagine prepping 20 handfuls of food to eat every day. It's doable some days, but it certainly isn't consistent in my eyes. So why so many? There's reasons. The produce is picked before it's nutritionally fully developed. It's been transported thousands of miles. Most Americans don't actually eat enough servings. I know one time with the Canadian Food Guide, they actually raised the servings because they thought that by raising the servings on the Canadian Food Guide that people would actually eat more fruits and vegetables, but it really didn't have an impact on how many they did eat. The most Canadians actually only eat about 1.5 servings of fruits and vegetables every day. So with that also in mind, we don't get enough variety. So we tend to really focus on just eating the foods that we like. And we just mostly stick to that list. So getting the variety for some can be tough. And then if there's a picky eater in the home, that can also make a huge difference too. So what I like to share on this slide here is the difference between multivitamins and whole food. 70% of Americans are trying to fill gaps with a multivitamin, and multivitamins have very few isolated nutrients, whereas an apple has approximately 10,000 different phytonutrients, and all those nutrients are working in synergy with each other, so that you are getting 100% bioavailability absorption of all the nutrients in the apple. And research shows that isolated vitamins may actually do more harm than good. So if on this side of the screen, an apple has about 7% vitamin C. So 7% of an apple would have contained vitamin C, and that's just one isolated nutrient. And then when we go for the whole apple, there's a whole list, that 10,000 different phytonutrients. So one of the things that was an aha moment for me in some of the learning that I've done over the years is I've read research where it was done about 30 years ago, where they took two groups of smokers and they put one on vitamins and one on a placebo. And it was projected to be a 10-year study. And at the end of this study, they were projecting that the group of smokers were going to be healthier than the people who were on the placebo, or sorry, the group of smokers who were on the multivitamin were going to be healthier than the placebo group. And they actually had to pull that study and stop it about 8 years into the study, because the group of smokers that were on the multivitamins were very sick. So it's crazy to think that studies like that have been, out in circulation for 30 plus years, but people are still going towards isolated man-made vitamins. They can be quite dangerous. So this is me, and what I'm holding is what my family uses as our nutritional top up. And I also grow my own food. That's my really awesome indoor grow tower. And I'm going to share a couple slides here on why those capsules I'm holding are so unique. But first, I'm going to share, when I first learned about Juice Plus in the Tower Garden, I had no idea what it was. My mom invited me out to dinner one night, and when we showed up at the restaurant, we were seated in a side room for a health presentation. So I gave my mom the big eye roll, like, okay, we're at a health talk. But what really ended up happening was it was a huge mom win for her. You see, like my mom was always into more natural products and therapies, and my whole life. So I did end up being an eager student that night at the presentation. And I thank my mom for it now because it was a huge trajectory change for me. I was on the cusp of ill health at the time. I didn't really see it until I started really noticing some of the changes that was happening. I didn't realize how serious some of these things could have developed into. So I had spent years with infertility treatments. I was overweight. I was in chronic physical pain every day. I was severely addicted to chocolate covered almonds every single day after dinner. And I thought I was pre-diabetic. In addition, I was exhausted and landed on the couch pretty hard at the end of work every day. So during that presentation, I learned about blood sugar instability and had a huge aha moment. I figured that if I could get a handle, if I could get a handle on my blood sugar instability, then maybe I could make some other changes in my life. And one of the things that I really liked that the person at the front of the room was talking about during that presentation was the fact that what she was talking about was food and not vitamins or isolated nutrients. So I was raised by example that you choose food or as close to it. You know, we had a garden every summer, and I was kind of coached as a child that if we had an upset tummy, to have some more water and a poop and to not gravitate towards over the counter drugs. So when I started learning about what Juice Plus was, I really kind of wanted to learn more. And so this is kind of what it looks like. They're capsules, and it's added nutrition from over 30 different fruits and vegetables and berries, plus the omegas, that's the orange guy there. They're whole foods that are harvested at the peak of ripeness so that the nutrition is still fully intact. We actually still have active enzymes in the Juice Plus capsules too, which make it even better. And we know that enzymes are more fragile than nutrients. So when the enzymes are there, we know all the nutrition is still intact and alive in the capsules. The produce is pulverized and then dried into powders at low temperatures to preserve the nutrition. And then the plant powders are put into capsules or soft chewables, which are very popular with children. And it is a full spectrum omega blend, also where we use plant-rich algae, berries, and seeds instead of fish oil. So I'm going to talk a little bit about fish oil before we get through tonight too. So in a nutshell, this is what you would be getting nutrition from with our fruit, veg, and berries. So like it's a pretty big rainbow here. Like when's the last time any of us here have eaten elderberries, right? Let's just use elderberries as an example. Did you guys know that they are one of the most immune protective foods that we can eat? And I mean, if you're looking for immune protection right now, elderberries is definitely something that is going to give you that powerful protection. Now, I can get a good variety of these on some days, but I'm not sure if you can agree with me. It's really hard to eat a variety like this consistently every day. And again, like I said before, especially for anybody who is a picky eater in the house. So I just want to kind of, food for thought here. Just take a look at the screen and think about how many different pictures on the screen here have you eaten today? I know for myself, I've probably had probably about 7 or 8, not including my capsules today. So I've had a pretty good day that way. I had a couple of smoothies and a big salad for dinner. So feeling pretty good about that. But you can definitely see there are foods on there that a lot of people have never eaten. And then here's the omega. So anyone who is already taking omegas, the thing to remember about the omegas is that they are essential fatty acids, which means they have to be consumed and our bodies can't make them. So it's super important if we don't have enough omegas in our system to know that it can lead to things like macular degeneration, heart disease, arthritis, allergies, asthma, cancer, anxiety, depression, ADD, ADHD, Alzheimer's, fibromyalgia, and skin disorders. So those are just like the most impactful things that can happen to your health when you're deficient in those essential fatty acids. So it's a pretty important list of, reasons why it's important to have them into our body. So when choosing an omega, quality again is very crucial. So many omega supplements that come from fish oil it's a very dirty industry, and a lot of fish oils contain cancer-causing pollutants which come from their feed. So the fish are eating mostly genetically modified corn, that and a combination of animal chicken feces, which is really gross. They also add antibiotics to the feed because both the chickens and the fish are susceptible to disease, as well as pesticides are sprayed because of sea lice. So it is a really toxic industry, and we don't support fish oil at all. So if you're on it, definitely do your own homework and research, and definitely consider switching to a plant-based omega. And these plant-based omegas are sourced from plants that will give you a blend of omegas 3, 5, 6, 7, and 9. So with fish oil, you're just getting omega-3. And with the plant blend, you're going to get a wide spectrum. They're super clean. They're safe for the entire family, which fish oil you have to be careful of with kids. And they are completely absorbable and usable by the body. So we've skipped the fish and gone straight to the source. So fish eat algae, and this is what we've put in the omega. And we also use really low temperature technology when we encapsulate, which protects our omegas from going rancid, which is also another thing with fish oil, that you can't guarantee you're getting a product that is not rancid, because they have to use heat to make their gel caps. And it can compromise the integrity of the oil. Let's go here. So the complete shakes. This, my friends, brought a whole new meaning to my life. So I swapped out the chocolate covered almonds every day for a chocolate plant-based smoothie. I was a bit of a skeptic at first because I had tried all kinds of different protein powders before and was completely turned off by the concept of smoothies until I tried this one. Now, there's a lot of opinions out there when it comes to protein powder. And if you want absolute complete transparency when it comes to quality, it's important to know that this is simply, again, plant powders. So in the complete shake mix, it's different kinds of plants that are in the Juice Plus. So the plants that are used in the Juice Plus capsules are considered micronutrition, and the plants that are used in the complete shakes is considered macronutrition. So macronutrition is the key to our gut and brain connection for energy and function. So our gastrointestinal tract is like our second brain, and the quality of the communication is a reflection of the food that we consume. So it's really important to choose food that's clean, and as many plants as you can get into your body. So smoothies just make it really convenient and easy to be able to do that, which was a big appeal to me because I was able to bring a blender to work and make smoothies for my lunch. And I could literally like drink my smoothie while I was cutting foils for a client, or like I can still do things instead of having to sit down and eat. It's probably not the best thing to do. However, it was giving me nutrition for that second part of my day when I was able to introduce the smoothie for lunch and for breakfast. And then there's days where I just want to have a naked shake, and we call a naked shake just some plant milk and the shake mix in a shaker cup, or even just mixed with water. They're totally doable as far as flavor goes. And what they contain are broccoli sprouts, radish sprouts, alfalfa sprouts, chickpea powder, millet, quinoa, amaranth, protein, pea protein, rice protein, water washed soy, and mushrooms. So they are completely vegan. They're made with non-GMO ingredients. They're gluten-free, dairy-free, 13 grams of protein, 8 grams of fiber, which kind of was another reason why I really liked the idea or concept of these shakes, was the fiber. And they're low glycemic. So, you know, that was a concern for me at the time. And I really wanted to give it a try. Now, I don't know if any of you guys have heard any controversy over soy, but there has been a lot of research showing that soy, it really depends on the quality, whether it's going to improve your health or whether it's going to be a problem for your health. And what the soy that's in our complete shake mix is minimally processed. It's non-GMO, it's water washed. So it is like, it's the closest kind of soy that you're going to get other than eating the soybean itself. And remembering that it's grown completely chemical free, our NSF certification helps us to be able to prove that. And I'm going to share a little bit more on what that means in a minute here. So at one time, it was definitely thought that soy was disruptive to women with estrogen, and it's actually been proven numerous times that it's actually quite cancer protective. And what I like about soy's properties is that soy has a mechanism in it that what it does is it promotes something called apoptosis. And what that means is that it promotes cell death, which kind of sounds like it would be a bad thing, but it's actually a really good thing, because when our cells stop dying, it means that they are mutating and they're continually growing, and they've now become abnormal. So we actually want to eat foods that help to promote cell death, and soy is one of those foods. So it's really good. It just has to be clean, quality soy. So this is how I went from eating nutrient deficit foods, AKA chocolate covered almonds every day, to eating more plants. It just made it really convenient to get a wide variety. And it just made sense that, because I knew I didn't want to take vitamins. So that was the solution for me, and for Steve also. Like, he's definitely found some benefits from it too. It's just a really easy way for us to get more plants into our bodies. So the next few slides we're going to go through a little bit quicker. Why is it so unique? So it's food, not a multivitamin. We have a food label, not a supplement label. It's all non-GMO ingredients. It's vegan, kosher, dairy-free, and gluten-free, which is important for many. The NSF certification, so that means it's third-party tested, which means what is on the label is exactly what's in it. And then what's in it is the only thing that's on the label. So it's kind of a two-way street to make sure that those things match. And then it's also safe for athletes, again, too, for professional sports. They're going to be clean because it's just fruits and vegetables. And then the third thing that I really love, and again, this was something that for Steve in the beginning, he was like, okay, you don't see this with a lot of companies, but it's the most researched brand name nutritional product in the world. And we are, I think, around 40 studies now, publications now in medical journals from the studies that we performed on the product. So it's pretty incredible. Juice Plus is not about treating or curing a specific condition or disease. What it does is it actually just gives our body, positions our body to be able to go in and help prevent from conditions and disease, because it's that top up of nutrition. So it's not a cure for one thing, in a sense, like, you know, let food be thy medicine type of theory. It is simply plant-based nutrition, highly concentrated to deliver a nutritional punch, and has been supported by over 20 years of independent clinical research. So the research is done at leading hospitals and universities. So we've got Yale, we've got University of Toronto, MD Anderson Cancer Clinic. Like, these are pretty reputable places to do the research. And what gold standard means is that it's randomized, double-blind, placebo-controlled. Basically, you know, Juice Plus comes with a theory, and then that theory is tested. And there's usually two groups, if it's safe to do so, with most of the research, placebo and then, you know, they do the research and they measure and they see whether it's added benefits. Sometimes there's publications, but basically it's brought in front of a medical panel, and their job is to pick it apart, pick it apart and debunk it. And if they can't, then maybe it'll get published. And to think that we have almost 40 publications and medical journals on something that is considered just food is incredible, especially in today's pharmaceutical world. So some of the research has shown that it contributes to cardiovascular wellness, supports healthy inflammatory response, supports quality of life, supports healthy cholesterol, LDL, and triglycerides for your metabolism, basically cholesterol, supports healthy lung function, supports healthy skin and gums, supports the immune system, helps to maintain healthy DNA. We actually have research showing how it is DNA protective, which I think is fascinating. It helps to reduce oxidative stress, and it is completely absorbed by the body, and that has been proven through their bioavailability studies. So Dr. Du Bois is an American doctor, and he says here that there's nothing else available any place in the world with or without a prescription that has been clinically proven to do what Juice Plus has been proven to do. That's pretty incredible. One of the studies that we have done is our Healthy Starts program. So what that means is that children's the ages 4 through 18, or if they're in college, there's a little bit of wiggle room there to get them on board too. They can receive Juice Plus for up to 4 years with a paying adult sponsor. So it's really incredible, some of the results that the Children's Health Study has shown. 60% were missing, students were missing fewer days of school. 56% were taking fewer over-the-counter or prescription drugs. 71% were drinking more water. 66% were visiting the doctor less, 71% consuming less fast food or soft drinks, and 61% were eating more fruits and vegetables. So just by adding in the fruit and veg capsule into these children's bodies, and this is the research that has come back, it's pretty amazing. Like, that's a huge mom win for anybody who's got their kids on Juice Plus, especially if they're picky eaters. This guy here, you saw a picture of my tower garden real quick before. It's just another option to be able to get more clean food into your body. You can grow indoors or outdoors. I mostly grow indoors. I love my tower garden. I've been growing on it for 6 years now. It recycles its own water, which means it uses 98% less water than traditional farming. It uses 90% less space. It creates a 30% higher yield. The food grows faster, and it's safe and nutritious. So basically, NASA went to Disney and said, can you come up with something where we can grow food in space for the astronauts? So this is what they came up with. And when they designed it, they thought, you know what, this needs to be in people's houses. And not only is it in people's houses, but we have it in lots of schools too. It's really cool. The company offers a bit of curriculum with it too. So It's really great to have in the classroom and have the students participate in it too. Love my tower, love it. Some resources that I can offer you guys tonight. We have at healthylivingrevolution.com. There's some free recipe books. There's some free webinars. There's some fun things for the kids in there. Really great tools. If you wanted to check it out, it's healthylivingrevolution.com. And then we also offer a Shred 10 program where we follow 10 guidelines, and it's like a jump start with just 10 days of focused clean eating. In addition to the 9 other guidelines, we're gonna coach you. We're gonna add some free resources. If anybody wants to join the next group, we have another shred starting on April the 12th, post Easter. So if you wanna jump on board, definitely reach out to me and I can make sure that you're gonna be added into that group. The idea behind the shred is to add more good and eliminate some of the stuff that's not serving us well. This slide here I love because what it does is it really shows the difference between dieting and weight. Like dieting and weight loss comes up a lot when we talk about nutrition. And this images really focuses on the difference between having a healthier and leaner body versus having a lighter body that is at the risk of rebound. So if we look at the images on the top, with dieting or restrictive programs, you can go from a larger body mass down to a thinner or leaner body mass. But it doesn't necessarily address the impurities that are in our body, because when we have impurities in our body's natural response, if it doesn't know how to break down and eliminate that impurity, what it's going to do is it's going to take that toxin, it's going to wrap it up in a fat cell, and it's going to tuck it away. And the only thing that's going to be able to help get rid of that is more plants, because it's the antioxidants that help to reduce the toxicity in our bodies. So when we diet through restrictive programs, it doesn't address toxicity. But when we go the route of cleansing and we add more plants into our body and focus on taking some of the things that aren't serving us well, we're eliminating impurities, which means you're going to feel so much better, and the risk of rebound is pretty much gone. So we invite you to join us. Just a couple more slides to go. If this information has sparked your attention or interest, there's a few ways that you could opt into adding more simple nutrition into your body. The first option is you could become a customer. And if you have kids, you could join through the Healthy Starts program and they can get theirs for free. The second option would be you could join as a partner. Some people merely join for the discount and then you could be your own customer. Some people will add 3 to 5 other customers and get a little bit better of a discount. It unlocks a nicer discount for you. And then the third option, you could, if you wanted, join if you're a business-minded person or not. We have the tools to help you whether you're new or already experienced in business, and we can show you how. There's never any pressure to make sales. We have no minimums that you have to reach every month. And once you reach a rank within the company, it's yours for life. You'll never go backwards. So it's really low risk, but high incentive, and really not pressury at all. The most common question that some people ask, or you might be wondering, is if I order and I decide that I don't want to keep it, what happens? So we do have an excellent return policy. It doesn't get used very often, but you can rest assured knowing that if you try it and you think it's not for you, we're going to make your experience a good one, whether you keep the products or not. So I just thought I would kind of air that out because a lot of people do wonder, and it's a full refund. So just a quick background on the company itself. We've had the same CEO for the entire duration of the company, which is really rare to see. Usually when CEOs build up a company, they sell it. But Jay Martin has been with us since 1970, and his mission is to inspire healthy living around the world and to build a stable and lasting company that helps as many people as possible realize their dreams. So really got to say that this is a company with a big heart, and it's been a lot of fun. So if you think that you might be interested, it's a lot of fun. The core beliefs of the company: longevity, authenticity, quality, community, simplicity, and approachability. So remember also these core beliefs, it starts all the way back with the farms, the farming practices, the fruits, vegetables, berries, and omegas. So literally from the ground up, the core beliefs are there within the company. Our business model is really unique. So for anyone who might be interested in learning more about the business, I'd say the biggest opportunity it has to offer is that you can earn passive income instead of trading time for money. So whether you still have a career or a full-time job or a part-time job, whatever it might be, it is something that you could fit in organically into your life. In all the 21 years I've been in business as a hairstylist, this past year has been an eye-opener for small businesses, in that income diversity is quite important. And having said yes to this business 6 years ago sure has been a blessing for me and my family in the past year. So let me tell you, health is at the forefront. So if you think this might be something that you can get on board with to create your own passive income, it's a very good time. The only prerequisite you need to be a partner in this business is 18 years old and have a really strong desire to help people. The rest of this business will be unique to you. And just a quick recap. So the Juice Plus products are so unique because they carry a food label. There's NSF certification. It's the most nutritionally researched brand name product in the world. It comes doctor recommended and practitioner recommended. We actually have a practitioner who is coming up at 8:30, a panel of practitioners. So if anybody's interested in the Zoom ID for that, if you wanted to hop on, it starts at 8:30. It will be a really good one. It's also the largest selling nutritional product of its kind. It's free for kids, teens, and college students through the Healthy Starts program. So we invite you to join us in inspiring healthy living around the world. Some of the people who have joined are joining for a car payment because it can create more time for their family. It helps them to be able to give back. You know, there's many various reasons. It's always there to fill a need. And side gigs are kind of how we roll these days, because like I said, like income diversity is at the forefront also. Okay, so we are down to the last few minutes. I'm going to do the draw. I just want to talk quick about some upcoming events. So Tuesday night, health education at 8:30. So I just mentioned the practitioner panel that's happening tonight at 8:30. The culture of our community is we offer free education every Tuesday evening, or almost every Tuesday evening at 8:30 p.m. So this is in a group called 500 Families. If you are not already a member of 500 Families, definitely let myself know or whoever invited you on tonight to make sure you get into that group so you have access to all the free health education. And then Sunday evenings is when we do our business education. So no pressure there. If you wanted to hop on and just have a listen and see if you think it's something for you, there's no obligation to be a part. If you wanted to just check it out, you're welcome to do that too. So I am going to do a draw because I promised you guys I was going to be giving away $100 tonight. So I'm going to do a random number selection. Does anybody have any questions before I do the draw? Let me check here. Yes, so Tuesday night Zoom nutritions are awesome. Lots of free info, meal plans. Yes, lots of great information. Okay, let's see if I got this right. Random number selector. So we have, I'll do between 1 and 10. Okay, so person number 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Come on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Sorry, I just need to make this bigger so I can see it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Neda or Nita, I'm not sure how to pronounce that. Nita K. If you can make sure, you just won. If you can just make sure that whoever invited you tonight opens up a chat together with myself so that I can get your email address and I will email you some money. Okay, so that is a wrap for tonight, unless anybody has a question. Actually, I will post in here. If anybody wants to join the Zoom that's happening at 8:30, this is going to be the Zoom ID. And this is the passcode. So if you wanted to write that down, it's 811-900-2186. And then the passcode is March, all uppercase, 2021. And it starts at 8:30, nutritional practitioner panel. Okay, so that's it for tonight. I thank you guys so much for hopping on and having a listen. I hope you learned something. And if you have any questions, definitely reach out to me or whoever invited you. And I hope you have a good night. Oh, you're welcome, Deb. Thank you. Welcome, Jenny. Okay, good night, everyone. Enjoy the rest of your evening.